Hello, everyone. I think everything's good. Let me know if anything needs adjusting. Just gonna be playing Artie again. I think I'll do more attempts today, but I'm still starting with the practice run. And because of the way the mods work, I need to like separate it into like before Metropolis and after Metropolis, or I guess during Metropolis. They're different things. There we go, that's better. You want to grab the scavenger in a specific way, or else they mess with your movement. Oh yeah, wait, actually that's a time save. So some speedrun rules got changed, mainly quality of life stuff. And for Artificer, one of those changes was falling off a cliff and losing time for no reason. But one of the changes was allowing this remix setting that makes scavengers always have max karma, which means that whenever I'm pretty sure. Hold up, does that apply to scavengers that you kill? So if you just find a scavenger, kill him, they're guaranteed to have max karma. Is that how it works? Because if that's how it is, it might genuinely be worth it to not even carry the scavenger around with you, and just rely on like finding scavengers at the end of regions. Because I have found that it is somewhat consistent for scavengers to spawn in the last few rooms of garbage wastes. So I could just like forget about carrying the scavenger with me, just wait until I like stumble across one. I probably won't do that. That's a little bit too much RNG. If you're gonna do that for every single region, you would just like, maybe it's like a 50% chance that you find scavengers, and so but like if you, after going through every region, it's like a 10% chance that you get enough scavengers. But it also means that if you accidentally drop the scavenger, it's worth it to keep going, because you might find another scavenger and you don't use to gamble on them having a karma. It also significantly improves the other category. What is it called? Pilgrimage? I don't know. The one where you go to the depths instead. Yeah, I think that's pilgrimage. That category is way better because you can. I mean, I don't know what the route was before, but it definitely means that now you can get the minimum required echoes and then just get like find one scavenger and they will have enough karma for you to go down into the depths. Although I don't know what the category is. Not allowed for, not for pilgrimage. Right, it is only 2 categories. Okay, well then never mind then. I don't know how that category works, so maybe they already have a solution to that. That isn't just get lucky. I guess in Gormon's story, that's nice to hear. Good luck with that. Literally just one run. That's all you need. Struggling with Outer Expanse. There is some difficulty with like the skips and stuff that aren't necessary. You don't need to do them. Oh my gosh. Like the worm pit skip. Because there's usually blue lizards around that area and it makes it pretty risky. If it's centipedes that are a problem, you can bring spore puffs with you or craft a spore puff with a rock and a mushroom. And that can really easily deal with any centipede you run into. Especially in some of those really like tight corridors where you don't really have much space to move. There is no strategy? That sounds rough. That's interesting though, because usually I find that the beginning of the run is the most difficult. Mostly getting to Industrial is pretty difficult for some reason, or like getting to the shelter, because there's a lot of lizards in... See, that really short jump, what is up with that? A lot of lizards in Industrial that you aren't very good at dealing with. And Shaded is pretty annoying too. Mostly just because it takes a while to get through. Oh, this, I wanted to test this. Oh. Because I found this is possible if you're not carrying a scavenger body. But I am carrying a scavenger body. But I think the jump is a little bit shorter. See, now it's like, I'm not even close to me. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, you're alive. Of course you're alive. Shoot, I pressed the wrong button to teleport myself. I don't know if turn storage helps. I guess it would with the backflip. No, we're gonna go back there. Not drainage system. Any idea which room it is? I think it's this one. No. I think it's this one. No. This one. This one. This one. There we go. Thank you. Let's grab a spear first. Okay, I'll go to a different room first. Here we go. First try, basically. Give me a spear. Get me a scout. You're alive. And they don't even have enough karma. Whatever. I'll just like... I mean, I can go through the gate anyway. I just need the physics. Also, hello, welcome to the stream. I don't know if I said anything. Oh, I think that actually is possible. Yes. Oh man, that's difficult. It's like just barely close enough. I still think you want the boost off of the pole too. Yeah, it's very risky. I mean, not really, but it would lose quite a long time if you mess it up because of the setup. And I don't know how much time this saves. I mean, I could just go time it. I don't even know the next best route through this room if you don't do this. Yeah, but you're like touching a corner of the wall. That jump doesn't look reliable at all. Yeah, probably. Gotta love the background layers still looking weird. I appreciate anyone who acknowledges my Gourmand run. I think that some people have the idea that it's such a underrun category that it's not very optimized. But I actually did put a decent amount of effort into that run. Maybe not really in doing attempts, so there are mistakes still, but in terms of like the routing, finding cool tricks for it. 'Cause I remember Ice Silver runs wanted to try Gourmand story for a bit. He was like, oh yeah, I could probably beat the record. Like the way when he started attempts, it was like, oh yeah, I could probably beat the record. And then at the end of attempts, I think he was like, oh yeah, this is like really difficult actually. Like the more you do the run, the more you realize that it's actually like quite difficult and quite optimized. Definitely not as optimized as most other categories. It could still probably be lowered by a few minutes. Definitely lowered by a few minutes, but let me temporarily activate wall bounces for this one jump. You could do this. Nope. You could do this. Nope. Hold up. You could do that. At that point, I don't think it saves time. Or this. If you're like really good at those. It's weird that the wall paths gives you so much more height than every other option. It's actually very viable with scions around, yes. Love accidentally parrying. Really? It was still like that? You know, whiplashes are like, they do something for RD. You stay in the air for so long. I wonder if that's useful at all. So you kind of keep the speed. I don't know. I don't think it adds up. It still kind of gives you the same speed overall. Alright, throw a boost. Maybe. Mistakes as RD are even worse than for other characters because you also lose stamina. Like, it isn't just the time loss from making the mistake, but it's also... Okay, that's fine. It's also like extra time you have to wait around for your stamina to recover. I also want to see if there's a better way to blow yourself up. Because I found that it can kind of take a while sometimes. Maybe that's kind of weird out of context. Hello, welcome to the stream. My main goal, to blow up. I don't know if double jumps are faster than fast full climb. Maybe? That's weird. Area gunslinger? Is that just ranged, but you only use guns? Also, hello. Welcome to the stream. Sometimes I feel like it's annoying that I say that so much. Every time someone shows up, I'm like, I say the exact same thing. Like, I'm sure that if you stick around for the stream for a long time, it's like, that's repetitive. That's the kind of thing that would bother me if I was a viewer. Especially like for live streamers that have notifications. If a lot of people follow all the time, and if there's a sound alert on the follow, then you basically just hear that constantly. No idea who's joining. Yeah, it's a little bit empty on Twitch. Shout out to anyone who might be watching on Twitch but not talking in the chat. And on YouTube. Yes, there's some people joining in on YouTube. See, I feel like this is kind of why I might want to have a chat overlay. So that you guys can see each other. YouTube isn't real. And also, I need to remember that I can double jump here. I always forget for some reason, and it's like, well, why don't I just take the much faster option? And doing multiple double jumps doesn't speed you up at all. It actually slows you down because it always sets you to a certain speed. Oh, I forgot. And the reason you blow yourself up is because when you die and respawn, the gate opens faster. And it's also it's the same effect as exiting and turning back. Hello everyone who has joined recently. We're starting with a practice run. It was easy, just kill and dodge everything. Yeah, scavengers, they're so easy to deal with. Just dodge the spears. And actually, this is where I... These mods are annoying. So turn off this one, and then turn on this one. That's my solution to this problem. Artie's Ascension as the speedrun. I've done that run before. The speedrun kind of sounds really annoying. Not only because, I mean, the nice thing about Artie's Story Percent is that it's such a short category. Kind of offsets the difficulty, you know. But with the pilgrimage, it's like a much longer run. I think. I mean, I don't know enough about it honestly, to judge it properly. But it looks like it's much longer and much more RNG dependent because in order to ascend, you need max karma, which means that you need your karma plus a scavenger's karma needs to add up to 10, right? And so the ideal strategy for speed is to get just barely enough karma. I think 5 karma, right? 5 or 6 karma from echoes. And then go to filtration system and hope that you find a scavenger with max karma. Obviously, you could go out of your way to get more echoes, then you would need a lower karma scavenger. But that would like add more time to the run. Because the other strategy is like the fastest minimum time, even if it is more RNG dependent, right? Karma 6 plus scavenger, yeah, I think so. There might be like a tiny, very, very small chance of a scavenger having 1 extra karma than they're supposed to. I might be making that up. So I think that there's like, it's like how a red lizard has a tiny chance to not kill you, right? So the way that random RNG works. It always amazes me how people put effort into categories that are like extra difficult for no reason. Like for a decent time, the 0 cycle Artificer run was kind of popular. I mean, I saw a bunch of people running that. I'm like, why are you guys doing this and not just 40%? You could do the easier run. I mean, I think it's easier, right? I don't know. I think it's an easier run. And it's on the leaderboards as like an official category. Spearmaster, that's the story percent category. What else do you run if you're gonna run Spearmaster? Any percent is okay. I think that literally like only recently someone did an any percent run for Spearmaster at all. And even then, the any percent categories are not really that interesting because you start in the same place as survivors, so it's basically the same run, right? But with more difficult creatures, like outskirts. New in the community? Oh yeah, welcome to the stream. I hope that you've played Artificer before, because I'm about to spoil the ending. Ow. Ow, sorry. I mean, I said ow for the grapple worm. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, paying attention to the game. Definitely. Is rolling useful? Rolling is very useful. I think that maybe in like super ideal scenarios, you wouldn't roll too much. Because instead of rolling, you can do a roll pounce instantly. But usually rolling is good for spacing. So if there's a pipe that you're about to enter, you can roll the perfect distance until you can do a pounce directly into the pipe, right? If you wait too long, then you might jump over the pipe and you have to like fall down to go into it. And if you do it too early, then you just have to do like, you just need to like walk into the pipe or like do a slide pounce. And, whoops. I just accidentally tried to invent new movement tech. Would not recommend it. You have to be a wizard. If you use the sorry, if you use the fast roll, it's a lot better. Which, I mean, if you don't know what fast rolling is, it's like on controllers, it's something that you can do naturally just by angling the stick in a certain way, not like completely downwards diagonally, but like kind of very close to like horizontal, but slightly down just a little bit. And if you do that, then the roll ends up being faster. I can actually just demonstrate for a bit. So here's a normal roll. I'm just holding down the down button. So this is a normal roll. And if I want to initiate a normal roll, you have to fall from quite high up. Or do a backflip. So if I fall from like here, that's not high enough, right? Go a little bit higher. Okay, so roughly this high is how high you need to be to initiate a normal roll. A fast roll, I'm pressing a different button. This is actually a mod. You can see on the input display. It makes the you can see like the control stick on the input display go down very, very slightly. That's basically what you're supposed to do on a controller. And we use a mod for it because it's something that you just can't do on a keyboard normally. So it's to kind of balance out the keyboard and controller players. Although controller players probably need the help more, let's be honest. But it's just unfortunate that a mechanic can be blocked behind a certain control method. So we just use a mod to use it to join on keyboards. And before we used the mod, we used like a external program, like a virtual controller. So basically, you use your keyboard to control a controller to control Rain World. But this lets you do fast rolls, which they just move faster. That's why they're called fast rolls. So if you're going to be rolling, you should be doing these for the movement speed. But also, you can initiate a fast roll from very close to the ground. So notice, just from here, just a little bit higher up than that. I can do a fast roll from this. This like pole is being in the way. But you don't need to get much height at all to start a fast roll. And it means that if you're on uneven terrain, like if you're in garbage wastes, you can basically, okay, so here's like a 1 block ledge, right? Jumping off of this, I can get a fast roll, right? So like in like slightly uneven terrain, you can just initiate rolls much faster. You need to, if you're on PC, you download the fast roll button mod, and then you can bind any key to it. And you basically just use that key instead of the down inputs to roll. Which can be a little bit hard to get used to when starting out, but it's worth it. Like in this room, this is a great case for it. I'm basically using fast rolls all the time. On other characters, like Riv, I mean, actually Riv can start a fast roll from their standing jump. So you can jump and just do a roll whenever you want, which means that you can do a roll pounce instantly. Like this. Yeah, they are allowed in speedruns. Otherwise, who cares? I knew that was a bad idea, but I was hoping it would work out anyway. Honestly, the damage multiplier is not the main thing that makes Hunter stronger. It definitely helps, like you can one-shot blue lizards and some other random creatures, like scavengers, you can one-shot them more consistently. But having the extra spear is like much more impactful, really. Because it means that you can double spear pretty much any creature whenever you want. It's like green lizards, they're very hard to fight as Survivor. If you have 2 spears, you can chain the 2 spears together to keep them stunned, and it's significantly easier. How do you pick up a spear? Also, it's very dark. Goodness, that was very slow. Honestly, the stun is more important than any amount of damage. Like with Monk. People complain about Monk being weak, but the damage is not a huge deal. It's the lack of stun time. Like, you can stab a pink lizard, and also like injuring them. So like the more injured the creature is, the less aggressive they'll be, the less likely they are to attack you. And for pink lizards, like if you stab them as Hunter, they're basically useless now. If you stab them as Monk, they can still very much try to kill you, and they won't be stunned for long. So you'll stab them and then they just bite you. And GG. Whoops. Hold up, I just closed everything. And there's a remix setting that I need to change too. So like, if the stun timer was the same, I don't think Monk would be that much worse at all. You could just like keep creatures stunned and still do decent damage by throwing spears multiple times. Yeah, so Monk is just a different playstyle. You just don't try to kill stuff. Just avoid them completely, and it's much easier. I think that people often try Monk like they're playing Survivor or Hunter, and they're like, wow, this character's so weak, they can't kill anything. It's like, you don't need to kill anything. That's the good thing about them. You can eat like 3 fruit and then just go wherever you want. I think Spearmaster is so weak. Sorry. I think they're very bad. In terms of, in like best case scenario, you can stockpile a bunch of spears and kill one target creature pretty easily. Okay, that's not a lizard. If it is a lizard, then I hope that you have the space to do a slide, or the like down throw to hit them through their mask, through their head, skull, whatever you want to call it. So in best case scenario, or like centipedes are easy to kill because they have no armor, so you just spam spears. You know, but if you're moving around, let's say that you want to move to another location, as you tend to do in this game. Well then, you can't stockpile spears. You have to carry 1 or 2. Unless you can hold 2 spears, right? So any creature that you run into, you throw 2 spears, and now what do you do? If you need food, you only need to create more spears, which takes a long time. And if you don't need the food, yeah, you can pick the spears up again. But if it's a lizard, you might not be able to hit them at all, unless you can hit the head spear. If it's a vulture, well, I guess they're pretty decent at fighting vultures. The problem is just the utility. If you want to hold any other item at all, you're sacrificing spears that you could throw. So you are now throwing only like a rock and a spear, or no rock at all. Like, what if you have a vulture mask? And okay, lizards are no longer a problem, but it means you only have 1 spirit against everything else. So vulture masks are not really that good. If you're holding a pearl, then it's even worse, because you still have to deal with lizards, and they are pretty common. And you're also going to be carrying a pearl a lot. Oh, hold up. I should change that setting. That's allowed now. No, it's actually an MSC setting. So this one, scavenger corpses have max karma. This is allowed, yes? Can I confirm that definitively? I'm actually just gonna go check. I don't want to, like, what if it's like, oh yeah, here's the new changes that we're gonna be implementing in 1 week from now. Yes, definitively. Okay. Blue scavenger, yeah, that was a blue scavenger. So that means I actually save a little bit of time, like a few seconds at the start of the run, because I can just pick up a scavenger body and just run, which I've never been able to do before. You have to check if they have enough. Usually place your master in expedition, yes. They are better in expedition. But I actually prefer hunter in expedition because you have no time limit. So that's like even better. I really like hunter. I think they're like a really strong character, despite not having any overpowered abilities like the downpour characters. I think that's like nice. Like there's the perfect balance of being very strong without feeling like they're have some sort of ability that makes them like that puts them above the rest, you know. Oops. So I can just leave. Crazy. Okay, don't do that. Pattern of jumps. I actually have even higher karma. Level 6. Vulture, you're scared of the vulture. Now I'm worried that this red lizard is going to be in a worse spot because of me getting here sooner. I don't know, the red lizard is kind of a pain regardless of what you do. Also, the scavenger body being like this. There we go. That's better. I also need to remember to use the parry more. If I'm gonna be skipping the mask, parrying is the best next alternative. Excuse me. It takes a while to get good at this game. Sure does. I think that some people definitely can appreciate the game for the environments, for the lore, for the exploration, even if they struggle with it, but I probably was not one of those people. So previously, I used to say, this is a game that gets good after like 100 hours, because that's when you finally get good at the game. You can start playing in the way that you want to instead of struggling the whole time. So that's kind of how it was for me. It was only actually later when I kind of appreciated the like the first time playing experience, you know, that so many other people enjoy about the game. The sense of not knowing anything and dying repeatedly and discovering all the new stuff. Hey dude. Hey dudes, plural. Oh my gosh. I stunned myself. Yeah, I wish Saints had a short category. Unfortunately, there's not really any other option. Like the one ending you can get as Saint requires all the echoes. So by default, every run is a pilgrimage run basically. Actually, I think that could I mean, I don't know what you would even do. Like, what category would there be? Like, maybe playing Saints in another campaign. It would be really nice if we could create some sort of category. I guess it could be like moon percents, you know, the kind of categories where it's like just do this one objective, even if it's not necessarily an ending. If we could come up like, if you could come up with something for Saints, that'd be really nice. And you could say, hey guys, here's a Saint category that isn't an hour long. Maybe you should try it. This character's fun. Nice reaction time, dude. I really appreciate games where enemies have a reaction time that isn't instantaneous, because that has a pretty unfair advantage. Like, if you run around a corner and you see an enemy, or you both see each other at the same time, they should not be like attacking you immediately. There should be some delay. Which is actually, if you run up against if you run into some very skilled scavengers, I think they will react sooner. So in some cases, you will look around a corner and a scavenger will just kill you instantly. Not knowing movement tech makes the game more fun? Maybe. I need to remember that green lizards can actually kill me now. I can't just like run into them face first. Be like, oh yeah, it's just a green lizard, but they're not dangerous. Yeah, they do want to eat me. And the scavenger. Try to block my escape path. A little bit scary. Should have looked for a drop wig. I not check in advance. I was literally about to say out loud. Okay. I don't know what happened, but RNG? You know, it's weird to say RNG as its own word, because it means random number generator. It's like, why are you saying that? Okay, well, the next room, 2 rooms over from this, scavengers can spawn. That was totally luck. Hey, I didn't want to feed you. Okay. Not very efficient. I could have done that a lot better. Okay, so I'd like to explain some things about this, about Hunter. Every single story percent category is new, at least new since Downpour. So obviously all the Downpour characters are new. For Survivor, they don't have a story percent run, where the closest thing would be Pebbles percent, I guess. Just like the regular Ascension ending is the story for them, right? For Monk, we created a new story category that basically has them do all of the things that they do canonically. Like bringing stuff to Moon and then going to Outer Expanse instead of the Depth, right? That's a new Downpour category. Hunter, though, their category already existed, probably. I couldn't parry for some reason. Thank you. Yeah, Gormon does suck. Although you could literally do a casual playthrough and get second place on the leaderboards, so please, anyone do that at all? Anyway, for Hunter, the 30% category is not new. It's actually just the all objectives category, which is basically talk to Pebbles, bring the green neuron to Moon, and then ascend. Those are the objectives, right? And you also need to get enough echoes to ascend, right? So get some echoes, get Pebbles, go to Moon, go to the depths. That is the all objectives run. And when Downpour came out, that got converted into story percent because it fit better with the other characters' story percent categories. The problem, though, is that it was already a category that people had done and practiced and optimized. Especially one particular runner who was incredibly good at the game and basically has all the Hunter records. So unlike all the other story percent categories where it was actually quite easy to get the record for them, at least before for Gormon there was no competition. For Artificer there was competition, but then I got a very good run because of a different strategy. Rivulets kind of went back and forth, like some people showed up and got some good times too, but that wasn't too bad. The Spearmaster, you know how that went. And then Saint was pretty easy, right? So for all the story percent categories, they're pretty easy to get the records on, just because they weren't very optimized categories, or they weren't very competitive, you know? The Hunter story run is very good. It is like one of the most impressive speedruns on the leaderboards at the moment. So I cannot just go practice it for a few weeks and then get the record. That would take like actual months of practice and attempts on a category that might be just as frustrating as the Spearmaster run. So I don't know if I can commit to that. Even though, yeah, I have the records for all the other story percent runs. So it would be nice to complete them all. But like Hunter is significantly more difficult than all the rest of them. Not only to not die to the creatures, because Hunter still has really bad creature spawns, but to like still be really fast. Because the thing with Spearmaster is that, yeah, it was extremely difficult to not die, but it was like pretty much guaranteed that I was going to be faster, right? I wasn't worried about the time, I was worried about making it to the end. Hunter is both of those combined, you know. It is very difficult to not die, and it is very difficult to go fast enough to get the record. And if I get the record, there's a decent chance that they will come back and try to get the record back from me. So it would like suddenly be competitive again. I guess the good thing about Hunter is that for most of the run you can use a mask. From Chimney Canopy, so you start in Farm Raise, right? You go to Farm Raise to Sky Islands where you get an Echo, and to Chimney, where you use the Echo there to cheese a mask. You cheese a Vulture, get the mask easily. Wow, nice angle, dude. I was very confident I would survive that. You get a mask from Vulture and Chimney, and then you go to the wall, Pebbles, down the wall, down Chimney, Industrial, to Shaded, Shoreline, go to Moon, and then... Or actually, in Shaded is when you drop the mask. So from Chimney up to Pebbles and then down to Shaded, you have a mask, and you're pretty much not going to die. you shouldn't die in that part of the run. So a good like chunk of like a good half of the run, you're pretty much completely safe. The problem is that the beginning of the run is difficult in RNG, and the end of the run is even worse. Hello, welcome to the stream. Who's the watcher? The scavenger did lock in. The watcher is a yet to be released DLC slug cat. I don't think we have any news on a release date or anything other than the initial like teaser trailer. I don't know if we've gotten any more information secretly. Anyway, to Twitch chat and YouTube chat in the same place. If you have both of them, or the way I'm doing it is I have both chats popped out on their own windows. I just have them on second monitor. So you could do that too. I thought about setting up a chat overlay on the stream so you could just see both chats, but I can't think of a way to make that look good other than just having two chat boxes, which would cover up a lot of the screen. That's something that bothers me a lot about other people's streams when they have a lot of clutter, a lot of like overlays and notifications and stuff. But I don't know, maybe I'll do that eventually. Also, I don't even know how to do it. Because the thing that I've seen for chat overlays is to get a another like stream program running, the kind that you have for like that you use to get notifications and stuff. Maybe I could just like chroma key the like pop out window. Maybe that would work just as well. Or find a way to make it transparent. Okay, well, I'm dead. Yeah. Is it gonna end already? No. These streams are usually 2 to 3 hours long, depending on how much I'm enjoying what I'm actually doing. Oh, we're in garbage waste. You don't have a spear, do you? You don't have a spear either. These guys are weak, but that guy had a spear. Oh, okay, so this is something I'm kind of relying on a little bit. I'm hoping that the scavenger will act as a shield and take some of the spear throws from the scavengers. It hasn't worked out so far, but I guess it worked this time. Hey, dude. Oh. I grabbed the guy. I grabbed that guy's head. Yeah, story percent and 90% for Saint are the same, except for story percent you go out of your way to ascend the iterators. So there's a little bit of different routing at the end. It's only like a few minutes longer because of it. I think it's a little bit annoying that there's two very similar categories. It's like kind of pick your preference, but also like if you're midway through a run, you have to pick which one you're gonna do. It's not like you like already know which route you're gonna take in advance. It's like I could like pivot to a story percent or 90% run at this very moment, you know. Did I actually finish a good Saint 90% run? I don't think so. Because my Saint 90% run is like over a year old, and I've improved a lot since then. But I've actually been actively running story percent, so that category is much more optimized. Even though it's longer. So I've tried to beat the 90% run recently. So that run could be like significantly faster than 90% run, and it would be like a big difference compared to story percent. Well, GG. Oh, they have a sweet Gata, thank you. I might drop the scavenger. It could happen accidentally. Yep. Risky. Some scavengers are less likely to try to actually attack you, although every scavenger will attempt it as Artificer. Some of them will be more hesitant. Some of them will throw spears instantaneously. Almost, yeah. I think they're all. I mean, they're like very nomadic, right? They move around all over the place. There's not much competition for actually for any of the Saint runs. For some reason. I don't know why. They're a really fun character. The biggest problem is that Rubicon kind of sucks. And, I could have killed that vulture very easily. But yeah, the only problem with story percent, or any Saint category really, is that, Rubicon kind of sucks, and it's pretty long. I think that we really should look into that. Find a cat or make a new category for Saints that doesn't require going to Rubicon, and that's a much shorter, kind of as a casual introduction to speedrunning Saint. That's not like an hour long, you know. Rubicon is amazing. Well, okay. Regardless of what you think of Rubicon, as a casual player, it is very bad. Oh, that was close. It's very bad in the speedrun. Miras vultures may just show up and kill you whenever they want. And you go through a room several rooms filled with very dangerous creatures. Like there's a room with 2 red lizards in it. There's a room with a bunch of Mirror's birds and Mirror's vultures, and there's a room with a bunch of orange lizards that like to block your path in a tunnel. The red lizard room in particular is extremely dangerous because you like walk in and you have no idea when the red lizard is just gonna show up and try to kill you. And that's like very close to the end of the run, like only a few minutes away. Wait, hold up. Isn't there a challenge for Saint on the challenge list that involves going to Pebbles and like giving him a lantern or something? Maybe that could be a category. Just visit Pebbles. Pebbles visit. Okay, spider. There's also that meme speedrun where I tried to dive through that one blue lizard very fast. Okay, that scavenger kind of scared me, but we're good. Hi. I love this character and fighting scavengers. Oh, you're a dangerous creature. Like compared to the scavengers, Big Lizard is nothing. Not worried about them at all. Okay, I'll try to do this once. I'll try to do this one time. Nope. You know what? I feel like doing it again. Okay. That was bad. Yeah, it's risky. You lose some more time if you mess it up. The problem with Ascended Saint is that you have to be standing still to ascend things. So a Mirror Soldier, it gives Mirror Soldiers a great opportunity to kill you as you're sitting there. What are you doing? I've literally never seen a blue lizard there. It gives Mirror Soldiers a great opportunity to kill you, and if red lizards are spitting at you, it prevents the ability from working. So like red lizards and Mirror vultures are really good counters against your own ability, and they are also, you know, the most dangerous creatures regardless. Or fire spirit them. You are thinking more about this than I ever have. Usually the problem is that I just don't have time to do that. And I'd always rather just be making progress and moving forward instead of like trying to fight the creatures. Can you leave? Goodness. If I had a single spear, it would be dead. Yeah, like dealing with a firebug is it takes time. Seeing a Mirror Vulture being like, oh, I'm gonna stab this guy and then ascend them, that's a time loss compared to just trying to run forward. And even then, the worst case scenario with the Mirror Vulture is always that they will just pop up out of nowhere and kill you before you can even react at all. That is always a possibility. Goodness, these guys are, it's raining scions. And how do you even stab them with the fire spear before they, okay. Because they always approach you from above, right? Oh, well, hello. So like, how do you stab them before they grab you? Because they're going to be coming in front of you. You can't. I mean, you can throw upwards. I guess you could like find a way to finagle that. Getting a backflip on that small platform is pretty difficult. Okay, time for the jump. Are there scavengers? Of course. That's fine. I'll grab another spear, actually. Okay, that doesn't usually happen. I'll wait for this to... You know, it's like if I jump up, I'm putting myself at unnecessary risk. I didn't have a spear. Okay. Good job. Well, I have a playlist of just a bunch of random Rain World music. And it just picks whichever one it wants. So sometimes it picks songs from the end of the game. And I think they're nice. Doesn't have anything to do with what's happening in-game. Although we like to joke when it does line up unnaturally. Like, oh wow, this song is just where it should be playing, you know? Like earlier, it was playing the Garbage Waste threat theme when I was in Garbage Wastes. So that's just kind of a lucky coincidence. Wow, that was very smooth, surprisingly. Oh yeah, that's absolutely true. Some rooms need flights, or some rooms are significantly faster with flights. So ascending creatures is a time loss because you can't fly as much. Or you need to like wait around to recover in a room. Because right after the Red Lizard room, you need to ascend a Guardian, and then you need to fly up a bunch of rooms where, you know, flights is really useful. You can do it without the flights, but it's it takes some time and like lining up the tongue. I think I have seen that video. Is that like the weird like programming language like text space thing, whatever that is? I have seen that video. That's what you're referring to. Blow up. Casually, I still don't like Rubicon. Sorry. I had a really bad experience with Rubicon on my first playthrough, so I'm still like... That's still kind of messed up my experience. But even then, I think it has some problems. It's just like too big and kind of boring. Honestly, it's a cool idea of like having all the other regions, but it's all the same color. There's no background music at all, and I know that there's an unused threat theme. I don't like the threat theme either. It's a little bit too like aggressive. I wish there was like just some good ambience, because yeah, like the visuals are good. They're just like it's the same exact. It looks the same exact way throughout the entire region. And also, why are there multiple paths? Like, what if you take the wrong path and you end up circling around the entire region? Because, okay, the first time I tried to do the parry, but it just makes you do a downward jump. Maybe there's another way to do it. The first time I went to Rubicon, I went up the left side, and then I went down the right, or no. I went up the right side, I went down the left side, and then I went back up to get to the end. Because I didn't know that you were supposed to go up. And another problem that I have with it is that by the time you make it to Rubicon, you have the feeling that it's like very close to the end of the campaign, which I guess is true, but the Rubicon is such a huge region. It's not entirely true. Like, you might spend another hour or two in Rubicon, just like wandering around lost or dying repeatedly. So you get to the depths and you're like, oh, we're about to end the campaign, and then it just keeps going for another 2 hours, and you're like, when is this going to end? That's how I feel about it. Okay, that scavenger left. Appreciate that. This room is usually way worse than this. I don't have any items, and I kind of don't like that. Vulture. I died to a king vulture in that room before. I'm about to die to a vulture in this room. Oops, that was really bad. Oh boy. I can get distracted by the... Oh boy. Okay, I don't think this is gonna be good. Set your expectations. This is not gonna end well. No, don't go over there. Yeah, okay. Well, that was behind record anyway, by the way. I was trying to get above him to parry even, but you really don't want him to get to the other sides of the arena. I don't know what was slower about that run. Because, I mean, I went through that the toll room very easily somehow. But before then, I was like behind on pace. I don't know why. I feel like that's the kind of run I would like to watch again to see like all the mistakes. Yep, I never complete runs for real. I could never. Least favorite campaign? Probably Spearmaster or Hunter. I mean, it has to be Spearmaster, right? Just the Pearl and how far you have to go, and creature spawns being ridiculous while you're holding the Pearl. Like, you either go through Precipice and Underhang and all that, and it's extremely dangerous, or you take the extremely long routes of going through, like, Moon's Underhang and, like, Garbage Waste and, like, all those awful regions. And then climbing all the way back up the Pebbles again, or up the Sky Islands again. And Hunter, I mean, I like Hunter, but the time limits is really unfortunate for casual runs. Obviously, it needs to be there for score runs to make sense at all, or else you could just get infinite points by playing forever. But casually, it sucks that you're like pressured to like keep making progress, and that dying repeatedly can force you to reset your run if you just run out of karma and cycles. So I like playing Hunter with different cycle, or with different number of cycles, right? This way, like in the remix settings, you can change how many cycles you get for Hunter. And before this, there's a mod for it. Here, Hunter cycles. I like to increase that a lot, and you can just kind of play Hunter casually just by like running around the world and doing whatever you want. Hello, welcome to the stream. Because I'll do more attempts. There could absolutely be some inconsistencies with the timer. So the way that we time runs got changed, specifically in regards to armor caching. Although there is no karma caching in this run, so I don't know if it makes a difference. But previously, when you karma cache, the timer would go backwards, so that the karma caching would essentially take no time at all, or at least the in-game timer would not notice it at all. But that got changed in updates, and so a lot of speedruns got a few minutes added on to their time, just because, retroactively, because the timer got changed. So I wonder if that would affect Artificer at all. Although I don't think so, because there's no karma caching or, like, starve abuse. Hi, Cracker Woman. There. I don't like this situation. I don't like that I can't see the red lizard yet. Oh, there they are. Was that the pull? Did a pull band disease them? No. That could never happen. You are too scared of the vulture to notice me. This room is kind of slow, right? The thing is that these Artificer runs are so fast that I often get them mixed up in my memories. Like, did that happen in the previous run, or was that like 3 runs ago where that happened? Hello, lizard. A good start. Yeah, for the zero cycle run, by the time you get to Pebbles, it is pretty much the end of the cycle. By that point, so the top of the wall in Metropolis it's gonna be night. But yeah, creature spawns might be worse. Although I did try in some score run, I think that I did. Not like a serious score run, but I tried doing Metropolis at night to like fight the harder creatures. I did not find like any creatures at all. Like it was completely barren. Not completely. There were like some here and there, but it was not very many. So maybe it'd actually be easier at nights. But you need to get like with a really short cycle for that to happen, because you like wake up. You take a shelter very close to Metropolis. He wasn't dead. Now he's dead. Actually, having the consistent karma is really fun because you can just switch out scavengers whenever you want, and there's no penalty for it. I mean, there's a little bit. It takes a little bit of time, but you can guarantee that they're gonna have enough karma. Just any random scavenger. And now I have a free spear too. Run. The pink lizard. Man, Artificer is overpowered, by the way. I'm actually also not a fan of their campaign. I'm not a very combat-focused player. I prefer movement. Like, I'm a big fan of Monk. But like, Artificer's like, there's so much combat, it's a little bit excessive, in my opinion. I wish you could focus more on exploration of regions like Metropolis, which are really cool, have really cool designs. But it's like, oh, we're not actually exploring, we're just fighting a ton of scavengers. That's what we're doing here. Who cares about the region? You're too busy not dying. Oh, don't spear pen. Don't do that. Yeah, Renworld isn't supposed to be combat focused. It's actually Downpour kind of takes it, and I guess Hunter too. But Hunter's kind of like an extra game mode. Downpour's like main campaign is like very combat focused with like Spearmaster and Artificer, and maybe Gourmand too if you want to do that. I personally would not. The point where some people even complain about Rivulet and Pain's not being able to fight this well. Maybe not Rivulet, but definitely Saint. They're like, man, you can't throw spears, it makes it so much more difficult. I'm like, no, Saint is actually pretty easy. That's just the way I feel though. But there's like initial Survivor campaign, you're not supposed to fight things. You're really not. That's an awful place for a dropper. Okay, a bunch of time losses, just kind of everywhere. Hello, creatures. Would you like to donate? I don't know what I was going with that. Goodbye, Scavenger. I actually really need that body. Like, I'm pretty sure the green lizards and outskirts are are placed there to teach you not to fight things, which is kind of mean. Like most other creatures are easier to fight than green lizards, at least the ones that Survivor encounters. But you know, you pick up spears and rocks and you're like, oh, I can throw these things. I wonder if I can use them against creatures. And you're probably gonna miss the first time you try to throw at something because you need to crouch before you throw it at the lizard. But even if you do hits, green lizards do not care. Even if you hit them perfectly with the spear, green lizards don't care. So they're like, oh, fighting is basically worthless. And then you go and like avoid everything like a rat, like a slug cat. Some may say slug rat. I almost checked the karma. Like I don't need to do that anymore. I'm a fan of green lizards though. I think they're quite high on the lizard ranking for me. Oh man, not very good movement. I just do 2 jumps there. Oh. Go. I think they're very unique. Every other lizard has some sort of like ability, or like their behavior is very different too. Like green lizards are big and tanky and stupid, and they can't climb anything. I said that's pretty unique. They're kind of they're not very dangerous, so you might ignore them. You're like, oh, they're not very they're not a problem. I don't need to worry about this green lizard. But then you try to fight them, and they you know, you tend to underestimate them, because the moment you try to fight them, they suddenly fight back a lot harder. You had to go in that pipe too. You couldn't have just seen the green lizard and think that, oh, I'm not going to go this way. I think it applies to all the lizards. Like, especially for grains, you know. Kind of stowaway. You know, it's been a long time since I've seen a stowaway. I think other categories that I did tend to run into them more often. But I think stowaways are fun. It's nice to know like all their locations and point them out and be like, hey, you guys notice anything interesting in this room? Wish they're a bit more common though. Or maybe if they act a little bit like every other creature. Perfect. Best case scenario. I'm like misjudging the distance to that platform at the beginning for some reason. Oh great. I think if I mess up that jump one time, I'm like 3 times more likely to mess it up on the next attempt. You know, I don't know what I was expecting. I think I tried to delay it a little bit longer. Someone spent time developing the stowaway. Look, I appreciate the little details in games because everything takes efforts to make and add to a game, but not everything is going to be experienced as much. Which is actually crazy that so many games have like very extravagant final bosses, you know? Where like, you know, at the very end of it, they go all out with all like the effects and the music and the mechanics, you know? Like, you know how every Kirby game has like a ridiculous final boss? Like, it's a crazy thing because most players do not get to the end of games. You might find like Steam games, you can see the achievements, like what percentage of players have gotten certain achievements, and for most like final boss achievements, it's like 20% players have gotten this achievement. So out of everyone who's played the game, only 20% of them even make it to the end. And for some games, it's even more extreme. Put so much effort into the game that only a small fraction of players will ever experience at all. But it's worth doing because people will say, hey, you should play this game. The ending is sick. It's worth it, you know? And also, a good ending leaves a better lasting impression on players. It's the thing they'll remember the most after playing the game. You suck. Hello? I'd like some red creatures, please? No. I scavenger. You know what? Whatever. We got more of those. I'll just appreciate the freedom of movements that I have right now, as I fail to utilize it very well. And like, actually, I don't know why I mentioned Kirby. This especially applies to the Rang world. I hope you guys know the ending of the game, and if you haven't, just go do that. But the ending of Rang world is so much effort in one tiny little area that it's honestly not even that fun. Like after the first time you beat the game, every other time it's like kind of a slog. On an ancient sea. The mines, right? Something dropped it in the mines, I think, or like till up those like worms. Yeah, that's especially true of Rang world. Like, so few people have actually beaten the game, but everyone who's beaten the game is like, this game is crazy. Not only because the ending is ridiculous, but also just by the time you get there, you've acquainted yourself with the world enough to realize how amazing it is. I really like the Survivor campaign. I think it's... Is this bold? I think it's better than pretty much all the Downpour campaigns. I think people in like tier list videos, people put Survivor so low for some reason. I think it's kind of sad. The Survivor campaign is why we're all here, you know. Still playing this game. They're like, oh yeah, Survivor, they're like a weak character, they're kind of boring, you know, well, whatever. D tier, or like C tier. Like, no, Survivor is... I think a drop just showed up right as I passed that area. Survivor is the game. Every other character is worse because you've already experienced the world before. You know? Like, Gourmand especially, I think, suffers from this where the beginning of their campaign is not really all that different than Survivor. Like you kind of just go to Pebbles, then you go to Subterranean. Which is that instead of going to the depths and ascending, you go to Outer Expanse and you do that whole thing. Which is, you know, I really like Outer Expanse, but Survivor is that first experience of the whole world. Please. There we go. Oh, obviously. For the mines, floors 5 through 20 are the best, I think. Did Monk first? I also did Monk first. I sucked at the game. Although my first experience with Ravenwood was like all over the place. Really? Couldn't make that jump? Also, yay, scavenger. If that guy sniped me from across the room, I would have died. Poor cicadas. You guys do not want to be around here. You guys can fly. Why are you even dying to a red lizard anyway? Just leave. Dude, I need that. Yeah. Watch. I mean, okay. Annoying part as a part of being a streamer is wanting to play things when they first release, but also knowing that your audience is also thinking the same thing, so they're not gonna watch the stream. Which happened for Animal Well. I played Animal Well right when it came out, and a bunch of people were like, "Hey, I'm not gonna watch the stream because I'm gonna play it myself," and that's cool. Go do that. But also, like, what is the best option for me? Do I wait before I play the game so that people will have a chance to play it for themselves? But then I'm the one who's waiting and like trying to avoid spoilers and stuff. Every time I'd lost a scavenger to a droplet and then died to acid. I mean, I'm dying to the acid on purpose to reset the run. Droplings are very good at grabbing the scavenger, which I guess is better than grabbing you, but it still can end the run. I don't know what to do with the Watcher. And I also know that for Downpour, they gave a bunch of streamers access to it before it officially released, right? Make a video instead? Huh. So basically do it at the stream. but just record it all. I mean, does that make much of a difference? Because if I stream it, you can choose not to watch it and then just watch it later after you played the game yourself with the DLC. Oh, thank you. I'm actually surprised I haven't seen many king vultures. They were a very common cause of death when I did these runs initially. I could record videos and then premiere them later live, so you could still like talk in the chat. Although, I mean, that sounds kind of dull if they were just like unedited playthroughs. What would you guys do? If let's say the Watcher, okay, in scenario 1, the Watcher is released and I stream it immediately, like the day of. Would you watch that stream? And it's totally fine if you would choose to play it yourself instead. Hello, welcome in. Don't want to be here. Play and rewatch later. I think I enjoy doing that too. It's fun to experience something and then be like, I wonder how someone else experienced this game. Like, what did they do? What options did they pick? I went down the wrong pipe. And like, what were their reactions to stuff? Can you stop being horrible? You are a horrible person. That's what it says. Okay, I think throwing that rock reversed me and I didn't even notice. Need to get lucky. It almost actually sped me up a little bit. You're still horribly annoying. I think personally, I would really want to stream or play the game immediately, or play. Wait, let me try this again. I would personally like to play the DLC as soon as it came out, because I don't think I've ever gotten to play Rain Worlds while completely avoiding spoilers. I don't think so. Because even for Saint, who I was the least spoiled by, or I was spoiled about the least for Saint, I still knew about Saint from watching streams of or watching like videos about the old Saint from the very first version of the more Split mod, right? Saint still had the Ascension ability, so I was predicting that would still be in the game. And of course it was. And so it's like, oh, I already knew this was going to happen. I didn't know Rubicon. Rubicon was completely new. But that ended up being frustrating. Same for Spearmaster. I already knew a lot about what Spearmaster's campaign would be like. Specifically that or hold up. That moon would be like functional. I think. I don't know. I actually remember that much. So for the Watcher, I really just want to just play the game, explore the world, and do everything on my own. Which means that if I want to stream it, I would have to stream it immediately and say, hey, I'm sorry if you want to avoid spoilers because I'm just doing this anyway. Could you be kind? Just fall into the acid for me. Ah, I didn't wait long enough. And now leeches. Hello everyone, it was joining the stream. Welcome in. Just started raining. Better get the shelter then. Didn't expect to power up in Rain World. I was thinking there's no way they're gonna add a power up to the Saints in the DLC. Like, it's a funny thing as a mod, but as like official DLC, like they're really gonna do this, but they did, of course. Almost made it all the way up there. Are you dead? Almost. Oh, the scavenger got hit. I thought I was paralyzed. Sure do love the strategy of just running straight past the creature hoping they don't notice me. Or they don't kill me. They tend to notice me. Yeah, Saints is pretty good. I think Saints campaign is one of the better like Rain World campaigns in general. I mean, that's how it is as someone who prefers movement and not fighting creatures. It makes sense that I would like Survivor, Rivulet, and Ink the most, you know. But I think that in terms of the environments, Saint is really good. And for Riv, it's the story, especially with Pebbles. Oh, no excessive quantities of scavengers in that room. What game am I even playing? Oh, wow, good job. I can't even say anything about that. Don't want to play Inv. That's yeah, that's true. Who would ever want to play that character? They're so goofy. Those green lizards. Okay. They move so fast. It's always surprising somehow. Do a little dance for a second. Nope, there they are. It's like, whoa, no spitter spider today. I feel like spawns got changed around a lot in Garbage Wastes. Cause I got very familiar with the creature spawns when I did runs previously, and I don't think I ever saw scavengers in this area, and I don't think I ever saw a spitter spider either. I might be wrong about that. Maybe they're just like a rare creature, but you know, that spitter spider showed up a few times in a row here, so it's definitely been made more common. But scavengers spawning on this side of the region, that was like definitely never happened previously. But I don't know if it was ever mentioned in like the patch notes if creature spawns got changed, or if it's just something else that I'm noticing. Thank you, lizard. You're amazing. I like for a second I was imagining that vulture was gonna like accidentally grab me while attempting to grab the lizard. Also, was that a green lizard that it was hunting? I thought that vultures don't go for green lizards. That was alpha movements, by the way. That's just an egg bug. Creatures tend to pop out of that pipe without warning. And kill you. Oh no. Thank you. Fire running away. Oh, nothing here. Nothing there. I'm lizard. I suddenly I kind of realized, like, I just did a parry, and I did another double jump. This is kind of dangerous, but I was like, surely I'm fine. I don't know. See, that's why I don't like the parries. They use so many charges. What if Artificer was like that one Kirby ability from Kirby 64, Firework? What was that a combination of, like bomb and something else, like fire? I don't know. But you could like do like three jumps midair. You'd like blow yourself up. Shout out to Kirby 64 for being the best one. Just kidding. For being the only one that I've played. If I had a way, I think I'd like to stream Kirby 64. I do appreciate that I'm no longer dying to that red lizard as it comes out of that pipe, specifically. That happened all the time in previous attempts. Like, even if I got out of the previous room, please. If I got out of the previous room and got a vulture mask, I would try to leave and die to that red lizard instantly. That happened like, maybe like 20 times total. See, once again. Ooh, and like, spawns in this room are way different. Oh, the spitter's better actually got me. Nintendo games. They're safe. I don't think any Nintendo game is like amazing, but I think they're all good. They're pretty consistent quality wise. Like, I think games like Rain World, they're like special in a way. It's hard to describe exactly what it is. Maybe it's just the fact that they're so unique and try so many new ideas that no other game even touches. But it's this comparison that I've made like 20 times before, and you're probably getting annoyed that I keep saying it. But like, if you had a room of 100 people and you gave them all some game, let's say a Nintendo game, since we're talking about it. You gave them all some Nintendo game and Rain World, and had them play through the game. How many people would enjoy each game? I would say most people would probably enjoy the Nintendo game, and much less people would enjoy Rain World. But I think that out of the people who enjoyed Rain World, they would probably say that it was better than the Nintendo game. Maybe. Maybe it's like more likely that that would be the case for Rain World specifically. Abomination. Oh, you're dude. At least that's how it is for me. And I mean, I know a lot of people really like Rain World. Obviously. Like this game is like my favorite game ever. Like why Rain World? This like random indie game, you know? Why not some game with way higher production value? Like fancier graphics and cutscenes and stuff, you know? Why Rain World? A lot of people, it's probably a stretch. I think in order for a game to get to that level, it needs to be, it needs to take risks. It needs to not appeal to everyone. I don't think those things can happen at the same time. You either are a decent game that appeals to a lot of people, or an amazing game, but that most people will probably not enjoy it as much. Shout out to Noida, by the way. Noida is very good. I've known about the game for a long time, but I've only actually played it very recently. And it is, in fact, very, very good. If you can learn some things about it. Maybe it's a bit of a wiki game. I think actually maybe not knowing things about it and trying to like science your way through everything, maybe that'd be interesting too. I got both of the Artificer themes back to back. Hey Red Lizard, I'm up here. Ooh, okay, they didn't, if they went in the pipe, I might have been dead. But for Noida, I was gonna stream the game, but there were a bunch of like weird technical issues, like performance being one thing, and I don't have like an amazing computer, so I guess that makes sense with Noida, with all the simulations and effects and stuff going on. But in some situations, the frame rate can really suck. And when it's low frame rate, like the game slows down a lot, and also like the audio is broken a lot of the time. Maybe this problem can be fixed, but the audio would either stop working completely or cutouts or like start glitching in a really loud and annoying way. I don't think it would be good for the quality of the stream, and streaming it might actually make it worse. mean to do that, but it worked, I guess. Goodbye, Chopwick. I love the sound effect of them falling. Pixel art, super complicated wizard game. Yeah, pretty much. It is incredible the complexity of that game. Ah, come on. It has so many layers to it too. Like there's a new thing to like notice how crazy it is. That was a really weird way to put it. But like at first it's like, oh wow, every pixel is simulated, right? That's the like the marketing for it, right? It's like, oh yeah, these like sandbox simulations with the particles and the liquids, and that's all cool. But then you're like, oh, the actual game is pretty fun. You know, like the spell crafting or wand crafting, whatever you call it. Like creating like these crazy wands with like all sorts of effects. And going through these really unique areas with interesting enemies and such. And then you're like, oh wait, this isn't just a roguelike, this is like an open world game with this huge world with like tons of crazy environments and secrets and stuff. And it just kind of keeps going. You know, there's like several more layers after that of things to discover. It's really fascinating. I get really tired in these streams sometimes. Maybe it's from talking a lot or doing the same thing repeatedly for like 2 hours. I feel like some people are just different. Some people are just built different and they can just like grind away at something for hours and hours and not get tired at all. Super hard, unfair, and overly complicated, and came back and game their favorite game. Are they talking about Noida or Rain Worlds? Because it could apply to both. Pixel Sky. Are you saying that because people grind in that game for forever? For like pointless upgrades, like 2% more damage. Noida. What? It's very similar in that sense then. Although you could kind of say that about every roguelike. Like it starts out like really unfair and difficult, but then eventually you get the hang of it and it's like really satisfying to conquer the challenges. Like trying to beat the game or like get the secret endings or whatever. Upgrades are useful. Hey dude. Big fan of scavengers with no spears. 20k more damage? Okay, how much damage do you deal then? Do you do like 1,000,000 damage? It's 20. I had 3 man. Okay, so it isn't. It isn't too small. You guys. You see how that spear was acting really weirdly? The way it kind of like slid? That still would have killed you. Even as it slows down. As long as it's staying horizontal, it still kills you instantly. It's not a fun mechanic. Funny thing, oh. Okay. The funny thing about Rain World is that it's actually very fair. How much is 20k compared to 3 million? I did the math wrong. It's pretty insignificant. Oh, I know how to do it. Like yeah, it's like less than 1%. Not a fan of games that have very gradual upgrades. It's like you slowly stack on a few more extra percentage points of damage. It's like every level up or every item. So yeah, you are getting stronger, but you never really notice it because you're never really too much stronger than you were a few moments ago. Off-screen scavenger snipes. Well, you can equally snipe a scavenger from off-screen, right? The difference is that you need to know that they're there already. Which I guess is the unfair part, right? They can see you, but you can't see them. You cannot jump over a red tube. I already knew I was gonna die there. I guess a parry instead should work. But you can see scavengers through walls, right? So you can stab them around corners and they will have no idea. I mean, it's not the same thing, but it does give you an advantage. Some way. Kind of balance it. But I think scavengers they're supposed to be unfair. You're supposed to not want to fight them. The way I think of it is that scavengers are kind of an introduction to the reputation system. Where you don't need to run away or... Okay, well, it had to happen eventually. But you don't always have to run away or kill a creature. You can befriend them. You are rewarded for not, like, being aggressive towards them immediately. It's pretty easy to kill the scavengers if like one of them is being annoying or threatening you. Like just throw a spear and they're dead, and it's like, well, now you have a lower reputation, you get punished for that, you know. Or I guess you're rewarded with more scavengers if you want that. But when you go through garbage waste, the game literally tells you, hey, you should befriend these guys. If you give them pearls, you should try to like befriend them. And then you're like, oh, maybe I can befriend other creatures. So you feed lizards, and they can tame them, you know. He was prepared. That's just kind of an unfortunate limitation of the game, the like locked camera. I personally really like the way the camera works, but it is definitely frustrating that you can't see around the edges of the camera. That every time you climb up into a room above you, you're like walking into darkness. You don't know what's gonna be up there. You might just walk straight into a lizard. He was way slower that time. I don't know what that Scion's goal was. What were they trying to do? We're getting good ranks. It's been a while. This is totally normal. I ran Artificer for about 7 days. Just like 3 hours of this, you know, just dying in garbage waste or industrial or chimney. I did make it to Metropolis once, right? That was scary. I didn't mean to stun them. Thank you for that. That poor bat fly got caught in the crossfire. Metropolis is probably the hardest part of the run. That time I got to Metropolis was unusually peaceful. I expected to see way more scavengers. Or other creatures in general. King vultures, scavengers, dropwigs. Oh, thank you. And the last few rooms, the scavenger toll with like 20 scavengers in it, and then the scav king. Those are definitely not consistent. I actually got pretty lucky getting past the scav toll on the first try. But I tend to die there a lot. Yeah. It's rough. I hit the mic. I also fear that whenever I parry, that I'm gonna drop the scavenger body. I'm assuming that there's a way to do it without dropping anything. Because you're pressing down and grab, you know. I guess maybe you can press like grab or grab before down. Can I not mess this jump up? Would like to do this at least one time. This blue, oh no. If he chased me, that would have made it a lot more difficult. No, man. It's like very precise. I don't exactly know what I did differently though. By the way, attempting this category forced me to learn how to deal with king vultures. I died to them so many times. I was like, okay, this is going too far. I need to figure out how to dodge these things. And I practiced it specifically for a few days, and now I'm way better at dodging them. Mostly because I specifically think like, okay, I need to dodge this right now. You know, it's not like, oh, I'm just gonna try to run fast enough to avoid them because they will hit you. If a king vulture is shooting at you, you can't outrun it unless you're rivulets. You know, you can't just go fast enough to dodge it. They will lead they will lead their shot. You know, you need to change the direction you're moving in, either by going very fast very suddenly, or even then that's pretty inconsistent. Mostly you just want to change direction. And you also need to recognize what angle that they're attacking from. Or if you can like jump over it, or like, you know, sometimes like changing direction just kind of loops you back around to getting hit by the harpoon. I think you can also parry the harpoon, same way that you would for a spear. Also, it's about to rain. This is actually good and bad. I think I will make it. So no scions or white lizards, but scavengers will be a problem still. Or potentially elite scavengers, you know. They do show up on the wall. Excuse me. Damn, he fell through the floor. I just need to get past this room before the rain actually starts. But even then, Artificer probably has the easiest time getting past the rain in this room. Every character except Survivor and Monk can get past this point once it starts raining. Because the rain will push you down and make those poles way harder to climb up. But you just double jump past it if you're RD. Now the white losers are very frightened. Once again, messing up that backflip. Oops, that's not how you do that. Yep. Elite scavenger. Oh, well, thank you. This guy's like on a mission. Okay, fine. I'll just go to the pipe. I just lost so much time in this room. Goodness, why do I suck at that all of a sudden? I practiced this one jump so much, and now I can't do it anymore. And now we're like way behind pace. Putting on the bomb jump, I think it's kind of boring. BBH. It's just like if you, for every situation, the solution is just do a double jump, and it works out, you know. Like for Rivulet or Saint, I feel like it's much more engaging. Like Rivulet's like you do a slide pounce or backflip or a wall pounce, or there's so many different options for every single situation. But for Artificer, like just double jump all the time, you know. And I guess for Saint, it's like, oh, just use your tongue all the time, but it's like much more engaging because you're interacting with the environments, you're building up momentum and trying to maintain your momentum for a long time. For Artificer, it's like if you want to get somewhere, just double jump a bunch. It's just always the best option. You don't even need to think about it. Wow. I didn't think they had a spear. I think he picked it up from the other side. I should have done a parry maybe and then tried to like just run away. I don't know. But in that kind of case, it's like, I think one scavenger had a bunch of spears and then the other scavenger had no spears. So if I killed the one with spears, the other guy could have picked up a spear and killed me. Or if I killed the other one with no spears, then the guy with spears is still there, of course. It's like I'd have to get rid of both of them. I guess like pairing them that would work, you know. You see that you never really get a break in this run. For whatever reason, they decided to put scavengers all on the wall. Really? Is that necessary? In like the perfect environment for them to kill you off screen? I guess the point is to be like, look, there's scavengers here, but there's not scavengers for the later slug cats. That means that Artificer killed them all. That's like lower implications. Because the Artificer killed them all. Which also doesn't really make any sense if you think about it, because wouldn't the scavengers just respawn? And if the scavengers can't respawn, then, well, Artie definitely would have died at some point, right? and she wouldn't respawn, and thus wouldn't be able to kill nearly as many scavengers. Like, it would suggest that Artie is just like crazy and could successfully kill like a massive portion of the scavenger population without dying. And also kill the chieftain. And it's suggested that after you kill the chieftain, you can continue on to go kill even more scavengers. Like, goodness. They should allow camera scroll. I don't like the camera scroll. And even if I did, it should not be allowed in speedruns. Because it changes the game a lot with like what you can see. It affects gameplay a lot more than... I mean, ideally, there shouldn't be any mods that affect gameplay at all. Although people have been pushing for more mods to be allowed, which I guess whatever. But at most it should be like quality of life stuff, or like the fast roll button, which lets keyboard players do the same thing that controller players can do. You know, so that allows for consistency between players. Oh, I'm dead. Please, go down. Intense lizard noises. They're very angry. No, they're very hungry. I'm doing this thing that probably took too long to set it up. Where I'm holding a rock in my throwing hand, which lets you throw the rock and pick up new rocks and stuff to throw. Although I need to, can you just like switch your hands? That'd be way easier, right? Please don't fall back down. Stop doing that. Indecisive. That's true. See, having the rock to throw boost with actually makes that way easier to do. I should probably try to set that up every time. But you need to, like, slow down for a bit to get it to work. Oh, I was sparking. Oh, so you can't hold spears. I don't know what happened there. You like, the scavenger counts as a spear, essentially. You can only hold one spear. So let's see, okay, so I'm holding the rock in the wrong hand. If I try to switch hands while holding the scavenger, it doesn't work. I'm doing the input for it, it doesn't do anything. So you need to switch hands while holding the rock. And then pick up the scavenger. That's why I need to do it in a weird way. Nice backflip. Actually made things worse. Okay, so when these lizards are a problem all of a sudden. I don't know how the explosions don't alert them to my presence. Oh, well now it is. Go. It's a lizard. They tend to live here. Wow, I really missed both of those. Good job. Not dead though. Oh, that guy sucks. There might have been all the white lizards in this area. There might be one more, so I could get lucky, but this is probably slower anyway. We'll see. Vulture, maybe. Imagine a world record run where they save time from a lizard carrying them. Yep, there's certainly something going on. And scavengers, of course. But I can't really do anything in this position. Okay, I escaped. But scavengers are still here. Let's continue. Or try to continue at least. Okay, save that somehow. Okay, we're about a minute behind. I'll keep going just for the fun of it, and this will be the last run. I didn't eat the scavenger. Well, okay. Yeah, I know I could stun them. That was an option. Wow, you see how many times I hit the throw button? Actually, I need to watch that back. I'm spamming throw and I'm just holding onto the scavenger body like a clown. GG. I should have eaten this leather scavenger body in the gates though. That was my mistake. But that would be this then. Yeah, this is a very difficult category. I think I'll keep going for this. If I can improve my time to like a low 19 or 18 would be nice. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. See ya.